Hi, welcome to Miracle Making Psychology and Tarot Tools with my weekly 5 or more like 10-minute weekly lesson. Today I'm talking about how communication skills are important for relationships and how lack of good communication skills can create loneliness. Write your name in comments below, say hello as you join, even on the replay. Just say hello. I'd like to hear from you. So, today's topic is loneliness because of communication problems. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Tatiana Morris and I am a conscious relationship expert. I know, sounds fancy, who knows what that means, right? So it means that I'm all about relating to each other consciously and being aware and being able to communicate deep feelings. So I combine the knowledge I have from being a tarot reader, a mental health counselor, and a cosmo energy healer to help people understand themselves and others on a deep emotional level. I spent last 15 years of my life accumulating knowledge in an attempt to understand myself and others, and now I want to share it with you. Today my clients are women and men who struggle with relationships. They either don't know how to build a happy relationship with a partner they already have, or they struggle to even find a partner. Right now I'm in the process of creating my signature course, From Alone to Together, to help them address the problem they have, loneliness. So, and today's topic is loneliness because of communication challenges. Do you know anyone who had those difficulties? Type yes in comments. Well, let's dive in. Well, the main thing that you probably heard about, but we really don't think about that much, is that the words we say represent maybe like 10% of the message that is being communicated. Most of the message is actually communicated through the tone of voice and the body language. Do you want to know more about how that happens? Tell me yes below. Tell me yes below if you already heard about it. It's actually not very new information. Do you know anyone who could benefit from those tips? Write their name below. Well, today's story is about communication, so it actually means about conflict. Conflict seems to be a very controversial issue. I can explain why. Because if you go to any psychologist, therapist, or person working with relationships, they will tell you that conflict is important and people should have conflict. However, that's not what people usually learn as children. I'll explain. A lot of parents actually get really upset if their child disagrees or argues with them. So they do not model healthy conflict or healthy conflict resolution skills. What they usually model, and I saw it so many times that I stopped counting at some point. What they model is, keep your dissenting opinions to yourself or you will be punished. Punishment can vary from, I'm mad at you, and silent treatment, to being grounded, or, well, even physical abuse, right? So it can go pretty far. So why are we even talking about it now? We are not talking about parenting or child rearing skills. Because when those children grow up who learn those skills from their parents, that your job is to shut up and never disagree. So those children grow up, they become adults, they have their own family, and they don't know how to communicate their disagreement. Sometimes they are not even aware that they disagree until it gets to the point of actually doing something that we disagree with. Let me tell you how it happens. I call it, my personal term for it is consent without consent. When a person pretends or actually says yes, they don't feel like they can say no, but they don't actually agree. Well, as an example, I will tell you the story of Cinderella and her prince. Again, we have been talking about Cinderella and the prince for a while now. And if you remember, Prince was raised a very compliant child. He had a very controlling mother, so he was not allowed to say no, ever, especially to his mother. Guess what happened? Of course, he started using those skills that he learned so well for years being growing up on his wife, Cinderella. And again, if you remember, Cinderella was a strong woman. Not quite like Prince's mother, but enough. There was enough similarity for him to respond unconsciously to that similarity and start treating his wife like his mother. And between you and me, it happens in 90% of relationships. Like, again, I stopped counting a long time ago. And so what happens, like, again, an example. So what happened? Cinderella liked her house to be clean. A pretty normal thing, right? Especially her being Cinderella. The prince, he hated cleaning. Okay, he was the prince, right? But he couldn't say no. Then Cinderella asked him to do something around the house. And so he always promised to clean and never actually did it. He didn't say, I hate doing it. He didn't say, well, I'm not going to do it. He just said, yeah, I will do it. And then he never did it. Great, right? Very productive. It drove Cinderella crazy. She couldn't understand what was going on. To her, it was simple. If you agree, you say yes and then do it. If you disagree, you say no, and then there is some sort of discussion, rearranging the plan, or whatever. But that's not what was actually happening. And so then Cinderella told me that story. I had to explain to her and to the prince what actually was actually happening and how works this whole consent without consent. And we had to work together to open the communications between them. Because first we needed to actually, for the prince to actually recognize, oh, I do hate doing it. I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it. And for him to even recognize it within himself and then to say it to Cinderella, that was a big piece of work. It took a lot of time. And so to help him them with this issue, I created the Conscious Communication Guide to help them work through those communication difficulties. And today I'd like to offer this guide to you. You can download the guide from the link below this video. I would love to hear your feedback about it. And obviously, if you have any questions, you are welcome to comment and let me know. Thank you for listening.